Good morning, Unity.
Ready when you are. Ain't no use to keep taking abuse from a friend who isn't kind. A friend in need, or the friend that you need, who can help you through the troubled times. So reach on out and take a hold of my hand. Let me know when you're ready to go. 'Cause there ain't no dues and you can leave your blues behind. And have a little peace, peace of mind. Give me some peace, peace of mind. There comes a time when your friends go blind and their words become diseased. They threaten your life with the blade of a knife and they set you down on your knees. Make no mistake, for your very own sake, here's a little word for you now. Just take off your shoes and let your thoughts be kind. And have a little peace, peace of mind. Have a little peace, peace of mind. Now some folks you find speak a mighty good line and they charm you all the way. They take you along on a sweet, sweet song and they steal your heart away. But blessed be the ones who can understand why people have to act that way. 'Cause if I knew, I wouldn't need to say. But have a little peace, peace of mind. Give me some peace, peace of mind. Have a little peace, peace of mind. Everybody's peace, peace of mind. Give me some peace, peace of mind. Give me some peace, peace of mind. All we need is some peace, peace of mind.
Good morning, Unity of Gaithersburg. Our new adventure begins today. It is my honor to welcome you and to also welcome our guest speaker, Reverend Sherry Quander. And before we begin, our wonderful board member Amanda will come up and light our Advent candle for peace. Thank you. It is a season of peace. And so let us now settle in for our opening prayer. In this moment, we breathe. We breathe in the peace of this moment. We allow our breath to bring us and keep us in the present moment. For now, in this moment, there is peace, there is love, there is joy, there is connection. And so this day, I invite you to imagine that we are creating a great circle of energy, our wonderful, beloved community. We anchor a field of infinite love, of peace, of joy. We remember that we are all connected, that there is only oneness. And we allow our breath to remind us every minute that we are the embodiment of love. And so it is. Amen. And so we are delighted to kick off our new adventure with Reverend Sherry Quander. She received her ministerial credential from the International Centers of Spiritual Living in 2003 and was ordained in the March of 2009. She spent 5 years of her ministerial career as a staff minister at the Granada Hills Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, where she was a member for 12 years. In 2008, Sherry accepted a position as assistant minister and became the senior minister in 2010 at the Center for Spiritual Living in Mobile, Alabama. In addition to her ministerial profession, Rev. Sherry spent 30 years in the entertainment business in Los Angeles, California, as a corporate human resource director and consultant. She's also a sitcom producer, actress, and singer. She brings a wealth of wonderful wisdom to us today. She currently owns the Indelible Grace Company, where she provides human resource consulting, leadership training, partnership team building training, communication skill training, career and life coaching, and various employee enrichment workshops for businesses and nonprofit organizations. Rev. Cheryl now resides in Alexandria, Virginia. Welcome, Rev. Sherry. And now it's time for our transformational opportunities. Yay! We have a lot going on. So our transformational opportunities are also detailed in our community newsletter. Receive next week's edition by sharing your email with us. This year, we are partnering with local nonprofit A Wider Circle to provide holiday gifts to families who could use our support. Unity of Gaithersburg has been provided with an electronic wish list of toys and toiletry items with a convenient link to shop for them on Amazon and send them directly to A Wider Circle. It's easy to participate from the comfort and safety of our homes. To access the wish list link, check our newsletter and website. And the project will end on December 20th. Thank you for joining us this year and bringing some holiday love and cheer to many of our neighbors. And our annual Giving Tree Project is underway. This is a fun way we get to put Unity of Gaithersburg on our Christmas list. You can stop by Unity of Gaithersburg to give or participate online. Our sanctuary tree is decorated with envelopes marked with specific dollar amount for the general fund or the Campus Rejuvenation Fund. As you feel led to support, simply choose an envelope, fill the envelope you've chosen with the dollar amount indicated, and then place the envelope in the silver box next to the tree. And instructions are also included as to how you can donate with a credit card. And you can also participate online. If you go to our website, www.unityofgaithersburg.org, there's a button there, and you can click the link to the Giving Tree page. This year's Christmas Holiday Music Sunday is happening on December 20th. Yay! This special music extravaganza will feature our amazing Namaste Band and soloist Janine Dudek. We will enjoy Christmas favorites together and lift our holiday spirit. Tell your friends and family to join us in this uplifting and joy-filled Sunday on our YouTube channel at 11 a.m. See you there. And mark your calendar for more special services coming up. Our beautiful annual Candlelight Christmas Eve service will be held at 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 24th, and will be led by our prayer chaplains. Join us for the Burning Bowl ritual on Sunday, December 27th, where you will release what no longer serves you. On Sunday, January 3rd, we will have our annual White Stone ceremony, where you'll discern a new spiritual name for the upcoming year. You'll write a letter from that new name as well. Our 12 Powers Plus One service will be the next Sunday, where you discern what specific attribute of your divine nature is being called forth to support you in 2021. What an inspiring way to bring in the new year at Unity of Gaithersburg. We look forward to sharing these special services with you. We're also hosting a New Year's Eve Labyrinth Walk. Enjoy a meditative walk on our labyrinth. The labyrinth is an ancient symbol that relates to wholeness. Walks will be scheduled in half-hour intervals between 8 p.m. and midnight on Thursday, December 31st. Each slot will be scheduled exclusively for either an individual, a couple, or a small group from a single household. All walkers must wear masks at all times. To sign up for a time, go to our website and click on the special events page. And finally, remember our Zoom happenings are still going on while we are not meeting in person. Our Hump Day Happy Hour is each Wednesday from 5 to 6. This is a lot of fun, folks. I encourage you to check it out. We get together, we laugh, we joke, we play games. It really is a fun way to connect. And our next prayer circles are coming up. Monday, tomorrow, December 7th at 7 p.m., and Thursday, December 10th at noon. And these are a wonderful way to really cement your prayer consciousness during this time. To join these events, email admin@unityofgaithersburg.org to receive the link. See you soon. And now, let us settle ourselves for today's daily word. Our focus, inner peace. Our affirmation, I radiate peace. I am blessed with a spiritual sanctuary available at all times. It is a quiet inner space where I retreat from the bustle of the day and enter into a deep awareness of the peace that is my divine nature. With my mind and heart open, I let cares and concerns gently fall away and consciously feel oneness. I am nurtured, body, mind, and soul. Centered in my awareness of my Christ nature, I am peaceful. I am peace. I am. as I resume the activities of the day, replenished, poised, filled with gratitude and clarity of purpose. My step is lighter and my outlook brighter. Life flows with ease and gentleness. I radiate and express peace, for I have experienced a personal retreat within. And from Philippians 4:7, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. And now let's prepare for meditation by singing All Is Well.
As I close my eyes and the world disappears, I can heal my breath rise and fall. There's a light inside that dispels all my fears, and I hear a gentle voice calling. All is well, 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 all is well.
I invite you to join me now as we take a deep breath in and we exhale. And we center ourselves within the core of our being, that quiet place, that place where God resides. For we know right here and now, there is only one truth. And that truth is that God is all there is. God is that loving life force that lives and has its being in and through and as all things, including each one of us. So as we are still, we give ourselves permission to feel that life of God vibrating through us. It revitalizes every single cell. It rejuvenates thinking that no longer serves us by means of allowing us to remember who we are. We are that life of God. God needs us to express itself. So we are always in our absolute perfection. We are that divine entity, outpicturing as we express our laughter, our joy, as we continue to express our creativity, as we continue to live in gratitude for all that we are and for all that we have. We know that life of God is ever guiding, directing, inspiring, prospering, and blessing everything that we say yes to in our lives. So let us take this moment here in the silence to feel, acknowledge, and be grateful. Father, Mother God, I am the light. I am a divine, magnificent, individualized expression of all that God is. I choose to live my life in joy. I choose to live my life in peace. I choose to live my life with that great understanding that I am always divinely guided. I know and accept that I am here for a purpose, and I am open and receptive to experience all that God has for me. So with a grateful heart, I release these words that have just been spoken here into that loving heart of God, knowing they are already done and complete in that heart of God by means of me. And so it is. Amen.
I move through my day, feeling lighthearted and carefree, knowing all is well. I move through my day, feeling lighthearted and carefree, knowing all is well. All is well. I move through my day, feeling lighthearted and carefree, knowing all is well. Move through my day, feeling lighthearted and carefree, knowing all is well. All is well. Someday at Christmas, we'll be boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where men are free. Oh, someday at Christmas, there'll be no wars, when we have learned what Christmas is for. When we have found what life's really worth, there'll be peace on earth. Someday our dreams will come to be. Someday in a world where men are free. Maybe not in time for you and me, but just someday at Christmas time. Someday at Christmas, man will not fail. Hate will be gone and love will prevail. Someday a new world that we can start, with hope in every heart. Someday all our dreams will come to be. Someday in a world where men are free. Maybe not in time for you and me, but someday at Christmas time. Someday at Christmas time.
Good morning, Unity of Gaithersburg. Okay, you guys got to give me a second here because this music is outstanding and I need to catch my breath. Thank you, Edie, so much for making me feel so welcome. And I am looking forward to sharing this Sunday morning with you guys. So, welcome to Advent. Advent traditionally is a 4-week period prior to the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. Advent focuses on the spiritual qualities of hope, love, joy, and peace. Today is the second week of Advent, and I was asked to speak with you today on this idea of peace. So the title of my talk is Peace Be With You. In the Bible, the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verses 7 through 9, it states, "How lovely on the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who announces peace, and brings good news of happiness, who announces salvation and says to Zion, your God reigns." Well, I don't know about any of you, but I am ready to admit that I'm quite happy to see the year 2020 depart. As the Star Wars master Jedi Yoda might say, this year, multiple astronomical disturbances in the Force there have been. I would venture to say that everything that we all hold dear have been challenged this year. Everything. Right down to our physical health and well-being. We're in a year of setting records for the number of natural disasters that we've experienced. The hurricanes, the fires. I lived in California for 30 years, and between the fires and the earthquakes, it kept us on our toes. But they've had major fires. The civil and political unrest in the streets. Come on, let's face it, you name it. It's jumping out here this year. And we have experienced more than our fair share of it. Then, of course, we top it all off with this thing called the COVID virus, which, I'm telling you, it has completely disrupted our way of life, our economy, our relationships. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure some of these people are out here writing letters to Santa Claus this year saying, we're seeking a new experience to reconnect with our family and friends and to experience some of the semblance of peace of mind, Santa. You know what? That's what you can bring me. So with all that we've experienced this year, we hunger for peace. We seem to be standing in what appears to be chaos of our lives, just the chaos of our lives, just waiting for this elusive peace to show up. We seem to be waiting for peace to show up when the truth is we have the power to create an experience of peace right now. The very peace we talk about so desperately we want to experience. Charles Fillmore wrote, "It is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. If we draw to us love, we must be love. Be loving and kind. If we have peace and harmony in our environment, we must establish it within ourselves." Peace begins within each one of us. For peace to spread throughout the world, it begins within each one of us. So, as I said earlier, we talk about this peace, but how do we actually know what to do to ignite that spark of peace within us? You know, we all want the instruction book, you know, when it gets comical when people have their first babies and the nurse hands the baby over and both parents are looking at each other going, now who got the rule book? How are we supposed to raise this baby? Where's the book? We want instruction. As Fillmore said, peace begins within. So how do we get there? So first we must understand and accept that each of us is a perfect, individualized expression of all that God is. We are perfect right here, right now. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Spiritual man is one with spiritual God." We possess all the qualities of God. To ignite the spark of peace within ourselves, we have to believe in the concept of peace and that it is already available for us right now. It's not something that is outside of us knocking to get in. It's something that's inside of us waiting to be recognized. Second, we must take control of our thinking and our environment. We must be willing to prepare a space and a time and set it aside each day to be in quiet prayer and meditation, to quiet our minds. Now, I don't know about you, but the worst chaos that I live in is between my ears. The worst chaos I live in, there's going to be nothing, no experience that would be worse than what I get to create in my mind. So to effectively begin to invite that process of peace to be within us, we have to control the thinking. We have to be willing to let go of this idea of chaos in our minds, to quiet our minds. And as I've been going through my metaphysical training and teaching all these years, the most difficult challenge that I had was quieting my mind. I'm one of these people that's always 2 steps ahead of myself. It was very difficult and challenging and continues to be a work in progress to stay present. Third, I must gain a clear understanding of what is mine to do. In my mind, there are days where I wake up and I think that somebody died and left me in charge of trying to figure out how to make the world work. I get up and think, okay, now let's see, what problems have we got to solve today? These are the times that I must give myself permission to sit in meditation and in quiet my mind. In prayer, I get to ask Spirit to guide me. Guide me in knowing exactly what is mine to do. It's not up to me to solve the challenges of the people in my household, or to solve the challenges of children, of their love lives, of their education lives, of dealing with their friends. I only have control over me. And to maintain a peaceful mind and a peaceful heart, I must let go of anything that is not mine to do. There are times when we lose sight of the fact that God's not just working by means of me. God's working by means of those people I care about, that are people I work with, the people I love. God's working through all of us. So I must be willing to let God handle it. Next, I must be willing to participate in the act of forgiveness. How much energy do we expend in our lives thinking about all the thought crimes we would like to commit against some people that we know? Do we know how much energy it takes to come up with these thought crimes? Do we know how much of our brain space we give up because we're thinking about how we're going to get back at so-and-so because they did such and such to me? How much mental time and anguish have we imposed on ourselves because we feel we were wronged by somebody and we refuse to stop telling the story? I remember when I was teaching a class, beginning metaphysical class, when I was in Alabama. And I had a student in my class, and we were all kind of talking about some of the things that we would like to demonstrate in our lives. And one of the things that she had said in an earlier class that she'd like to demonstrate in her life is a relationship with a wonderful man. So this particular night, she starts in her story. She was divorced, and she started telling us that she was divorced. And that we knew that part, but she goes on to start saying how this guy was terrible, and he didn't do what she wanted him to do. He didn't behave the way she wanted him to behave. He wasn't consistent about anything he did. And she's going on, and I thought, okay, I gotta interrupt this here. So I said to her, so you're looking for another person in your life? She says, yeah. And I said, and you're divorced? She said, yeah. And I said, well, how long have you been divorced? And I'm looking for her to say 2 years or 3 years or something. She looked at me and she said, 30 years. I said, 30 years? And she said, yeah, I've been divorced for 30 years. And I thought, oh my goodness. This poor woman has been carrying this relationship around for 30 years, unwilling to stop telling the story. And for us to be able to let in some new life, we got to let go of the story. So this woman was not living in as much peace as her life could be in. We must be willing to let go of the judgments, especially the judgments on ourselves. Now, let's face it, we've all made some choices in our lives that now that we look back on them, we think, well, I could have done better. But we have to be willing to be in that space of forgiveness. Forgiveness to those people that we feel have wronged us. And most importantly, forgiveness for ourselves. We must be willing to forgive ourselves for what we did not know. Forgive ourselves for not making the best choice we could have made at the time. We must be willing. And my definition of the word willing is saying yes whether you want to or not. Saying yes whether you want to or not. Because when we are willing to say yes, we leave a crack in our spiritual door for God to sneak in there and do some work. When we're flat out not willing and the door is closed, we continue to live in our unrest. So we must be willing to forgive ourselves. We get to learn from these situations and love ourselves enough to move forward with a peaceful expectation. We must expect peace within ourselves. When we do this, we free up that brain space and we free up that heart space, which could be filled up with Spirit's peaceful, creative inspiration. Imagine what we could have been doing with that time. And lastly, we must be willing to let go and let God. With all that's going on right now, I'm sure there's some of us out there who have found a new depth to the concept of worry. New depth to this idea of worry. We have much available to us to be concerned about. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Worry, fear, anger, and other emotional conditions are mental in their nature, and as such are being recognized as a hidden cause of a large part of all the physical suffering of the flesh. Spirit is ever available to help us. Ever available. We must be willing to turn our concerns over to Spirit to help us handle them. I know when I was teaching, a lot of my students were beginning to get this metaphysical concepts of letting God support you, knowing and understanding that God is living and operating by means of you. And they would have a situation in their lives that they're looking at and would like to find resolution to. And the first question was, how's this going to happen? How's this going to work? And I got to the point where I said, okay, folks, let's back up a minute. Our job is to know what it is that we desire, to know what it is that we want to experience in our lives. God's job is the how. So I said, anytime you start feeling your lips forming the word how, stop in your tracks. Stop in your tracks. Because what you're about to do is cross over into God's business. And you need to stay out of God's business. God knows the how. God has the divine timing, the divine action, divine right action. So we get to step away from that process of how and let go and let God do what God knows how to do best. And when I was living in Alabama, I ran across this T-shirt, and I snatched it off the rack so fast, and it says, God's got this. Because God's got this. Let go. Be in that place of faith and trust and understanding that God has got this. We have the opportunity to live our lives in a spiritual advent of hope, joy, love, and peace every single day. Eric Butterworth defines hope as enthusiastic expectation. Hope is that enthusiastic expectation, joyous expectation. If we're not willing to expect that which we desire, then we're not putting all that we have into it. We get to wake up every single day, no matter what the appearance may be of the world when we turn on the news in the morning, and live a life of enthusiastic expectation of the peace of God. So life is ours, peace is ours. And it is up to us to determine how much peace we're willing to live in. How much good are you willing to let in your life? How much joy are you willing to experience, no matter the appearance of anything going on outside of my person? And I'm going to close with an excerpt from her poem, Amazing Peace, a Christmas poem that was written by the great activist and poet, Maya Angelou. And she wrote, "This is Christmas time, a halt of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate ourselves to ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ into the great religions of the world. We jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues at the coming of hope. all the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward to speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at each other, then to ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul. For with God, all things are possible. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Rev Sherry. Thank you. And now, this is our time to give from our unlimited abundance and open hearts. Thank you for going to our website and our newsletter to give your gifts online. And remember, you can also text to give. Here is some prosperity wisdom from Florence Scovel Shinn. You must form the habit of living in the fourth dimension, the world of the wondrous. It is the world where you do not judge by appearances. You have trained your inner eye to see through failure into success, to see through sickness into health, and to see through limitation into plenty. As we each give, we affirm this offering blessing together. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am so grateful. Thank you.
Come down to the manger, see the little stranger, wrapped up in swaddling, oh, the Prince of Peace. The wheels start turning, torches start burning, and the old wise men, oh, journey from the east. How a little baby boy bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. A shepherd on a hillside, where over my flock I bide. On a cold winter night, a band of angels sing. In a dream I heard a voice saying, fear not, come rejoice. In the end of the beginning, praise the newborn King. How a little baby boy bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, to be tonight. saw it with my own eyes, written up in the skies. But why a simple herdsman such as I? And then it came to pass, he was born at last, right below the star that shines on high. How a little baby boy bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Must be tonight. Must be tonight. Must be tonight.
We are so blessed. Thank you so much. And now it is time for us to form an energetic circle and sing our peace song and our prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us, and wherever you are, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen, 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 amen,
Have an amazing week, being peace. And so it is. Amen.